My best friend was offline for 5 years, and last night his status turned green again. My best friend had been showing last online for 5 years, and last night his status turned green. If you play online, you know what that little tag under someone's name means. It's like a digital tombstone that says 5 years ago and leaves you wondering what happened. Whether that person moved on with their life or simply vanished. We met in a random match back in 2017, two strangers who instantly connected and ended up playing together almost every night for 3 years. I never knew his real name, and he never knew mine, but that didn't matter because at 2 in the morning with our headsets on we talked about everything. Problems, family, dreams. He even told me once about his son, said he was 7 years old and that he couldn't wait for him to grow up so he could play with us. And then one day he just disappeared. No warning, no goodbye. His status went gray and never came back. I sent him messages for months until I stopped, but I never deleted him. I couldn't. Last night at 2 in the morning I was in the lobby like always when the notification popped up. He was online. I stared at the screen for several seconds without believing it. 5 years of silence and suddenly there he was again. With trembling hands I opened the chat and typed fast, asking where he'd been, what happened, if he'd been ignoring me all this time. The typing indicator appeared. Those 3 dots that come and go like someone's hesitating. After a few seconds the reply came. Hi, I don't think I'm the person you're looking for. This was my dad's account. I felt an emptiness in my chest. Before I could react, another message arrived saying his dad had died 5 years ago in an accident and that he'd found the console in the attic. He was going through his games and saw that he'd played over 2,000 hours with someone with my username. He wanted to know if I knew him. In that moment I couldn't breathe. A grown man alone in his apartment crying in front of a screen, trying to figure out how to explain to a kid that his dad had been my best friend even though we'd never met in person, that we shared entire years talking in the darkness without even knowing each other's names. So I replied slowly, yes, I knew him. He was the best teammate I ever had. He talked about you all the time and he was so proud. There was a long pause and then he wrote that he never got to play with his dad, that he was too young when he died and couldn't even remember his voice anymore. And in that moment I made a decision. I asked if he had a headset. He said yes, they were his dad's old ones, so I sent him a group invite and told him to connect. I was going to tell him who his dad was and show him the maps we conquered together. When he accepted I heard a young nervous voice hesitating and saying hello. I answered, I'm Ghost, your dad and I used to play together. Ready to learn? We played all night. Between matches I told him stories, the times his dad saved us, the times he made us laugh, everything I could remember. When the sun came up he said he had to go to school but asked if we could play again the next day. I told him yes, I'd be there. Before he left he said thanks for telling me about him, and I said thanks for logging on. Because for a few hours I felt like my best friend had come back.